Good evening, everyone, and thank you for taking time to join in today's webinar. Today, we should be focusing on project management. We'll be looking at how to learn to become a project manager by assessing hidden job market. And I think most of you that joined today, you're on different journeys in your recruitment. Some of you might already be established, some of you are thinking about going to project management. So thank you once again for joining. And also, we have the rare privilege of having Mr. Shaz, who will be making the presentation for us today. Mr. Shaz Shafiq is a renowned speaker. I think we have a rare period of having him joining today's presentation. He's a director with a Transform Learning Academy. And so thank you once again for joining, Shaz. I really appreciate that. So without further ado, you might want to give a high-level view on who you are, your background, a little bit about your career, then we'll take it further from there.
Sure. So guys, my name is Shafiq. I'm a career strategist and coach, but prior to me being a career strategist and coach, I started off back in 2011. I graduated from university with a 2-2 degree in economics. I was absolutely wounded thinking that, okay, damn it, like I got this 2-2 degree. How the hell do I break into like project management? How do I become a business analyst? How do I get like a really good job? How do I secure a better career? So I went from job to job. Eventually broke into some level of contracting work. It was my first contract. I was 23 years old. It was my first £150 a day contract that I managed to secure. And I thought I hit the lottery at the point. I thought £150 a day, 23 years old, can't go wrong. But after 3 months being on this contract, they got rid of 200 people on this contract. And at that point, I really understood, okay, what the hell is my value? Like, I'm so easily expendable. But I knew I was onto something because it was super lucrative contracts. So I carried on with contracting, eventually managed to get myself into like business analysis and project management, work my way up. It wasn't the case of just getting there. It was like how I did it. And I was doing it really fast. So from the age of 21, I was earning like £15,000 a year. To the age of 25, jumping to £150,000 a year. So 4 years, and it was like a 10x jump. But it was how it was done, right? And the level of productivity that took and the level of learning it took, which is what I want to share with you guys on this call today. I want to show you like proven strategies. A lot of what I've used, but not only myself, is a lot of what my students have used as well. But one of my latest contracts was working. My last contract was working with Deloitte. I was there for about 3.5 years. Set up really large high-end projects, but then it came to a point where when I got to the 150k, I had a lot of people reaching out to me, family, friends, a lot of people that wanted my help. So I helped them. A lot of my family and friends jumped from earning like 20, 30, 40,000 pound a year jobs to earn like 60, 70k, 80k jobs, some over 100k. So then it got me thinking that, hold on, why can't I do this for the rest of my life? And now I am as such. So without further ado, right, I want to go through this presentation. Guys, please make sure you have a pen and paper handy. A lot of the stuff in here, I wish I was taught this much earlier on, because success is not an art, it's a science, right? And you just follow a formula and you'll get there. You'll get to like really high-end jobs. So I want to show you guys, I'll break this down, how to become a project manager by accessing the hidden job market. And I'll explain to you guys what that hidden job market is and why I keep pushing that online. So let's get cracking. Okay, so first off, so who am I? So I've given you my whole life story as such, right? But if you guys really want to find out more, then by all means head on over to shaz.com, or you can go to transformlearningacademy.com, and it has my whole history about myself, my story, my journey, with all sorts of cool pictures and stuff like that. So by all means, you can head on over there after this call. But what's more important is how I'm going to help you guys. So I'm a co-founder of Transform Learning Academy. Transform Learning Academy, we specialize in like business analysis, project management, but more so it's not just about getting certified. It's about breaking into the field first. And then once you've broken into the field, how do you sustain like earning £400-500 per day for the next 10 years? That's the hard part. As such, every market ends up getting diluted. Like KYC, AML, a lot of contractors are getting paid a hell of a lot of money in that environment, £400-500 a day contracts. But now you've got companies like EFI who are basically taking on graduates, paying them 23k a year. So over time, all these markets get diluted. So the aim is to stay consistent and stay on top. So you guys can eventually cash out and have, money in investments as such. But what we do at TLA is we specialize in helping people make that switch in their career. So we provide people with a certification, we provide them with internship experience, and then we also give them the recruitment spot to help people get into more lucrative roles. This is one of our students, Daniel McDermott. So Daniel, he was just a normal manager. Some immigration department in KPMG he was working at. He wanted to break into project management, like pure project management, and being a Scrum Master in projects. But he was struggling to make that shift because he had like admin management type experience. So he joined us on our program. I think he inquired, I think it was probably by LinkedIn, he messaged me, found me on LinkedIn, he messaged me, and he joined us on our project management program. And now before he was earning like £42,000 a year, he's earning over £65,000 a year right now. So he made quite a big jump. And if he can do it, anybody can do it. And I can tell you guys stories for days right now. Some of the guys that we have coming through the door, people with like zero background, like people who have no experience in project management as well. Right. So these guys can do it. There's no reason why you guys can't too. Now, my promise to you is I'm going to give you guys a proven strategy on how to secure a project management role. But just before I do that, I want to find out more about you guys very, very briefly. So John, if you can just shoot that poll to these guys. I want to briefly know like how much PM exposure you guys have and what is the main reason that you joined this webinar. That would really help me out because I want to make sure that you guys get the most out of this. That's super, super important to me. So you got this poll on your screen now. So just answer. Okay. Nice. Okay. So it looks like we've got a bit of a mixed batch. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah, this is super interesting. This is really good. I want to make sure I can tailor this content to you guys as much as possible. I want to make sure that you guys get the most out of this webinar. So certain things I'll cover more on. Okay. Super interesting.
Okay. Next 10 seconds, I'm going to close the poll.
Sure.
I think we've 77%. Let's see where we can make 80% voted.
This is really good.
It's still 77.
So what is
80? Okay. End the poll. Yeah, 83%. Wonderful. Thanks, guys. Mm-hmm. So let me end the poll and share the results. Okay.
So far we got. So does your role involve project management? So 73% have said yes, and 27% have said no. How much project management experience do you have? So one person said lots of experience. Some have some experience. Almost 50% have said little experience, and 13% which have said no experience. Okay. What is the main reason you joined the webinar? So thinking about going into project management. Okay, I can definitely help you with that. Refresher course, 13%, exploratory information, 20%, and job placement tips, 7%. Okay, so I've gone through quite a bit in this, but I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys like the most value out of this. So knowing this is super helpful. So I'll make sure I touch up, because I can see the bulk are people who are looking to break into project management. So I'll try to tailor it a bit more towards you guys. But if anybody has any questions throughout any part of this, just save them towards the end of this webinar, and then we'll cover off any questions you have towards the end. Cool. Okay. Let's get cracking. Okay. So now what I plan to cover in this webinar is I'm going to go through very briefly. I'm going to go through what a project manager is, what do they do. I'm going to go through what qualifications you need as a project manager. I'll also be going through how to hunt and get headhunted. I'll go through like clarity on job titles you're applying for. I'll be going through how to create a comprehensive CV. Just like I said, like success is more of a science. It's not an art. I will go through that and I'll show you exactly what I mean, because everything I'm telling you right now is all just super formula driven. There's no guesswork. It's just you follow a formula, you'll be in a really high-end job. So hunting for jobs and contracts online. So I'll show you that, what are the tips, the ins and outs. I'll show you how to get headhunted using LinkedIn and track applications. I'll also show you how to deal with recruiters over the phone as well. So we'll go to that. You probably see the background, which is like get headhunted. So this is one of the programs that we have for our students as such. So I just thought I'd grab the best slides out to show you guys. Okay, so let's get to it. So first off, what is a project manager? So this is the textbook definition. So I'll read this out for you guys. So the textbook definition of a project manager is: a project manager is a professional in the field of project management. Project managers have the responsibility of the planning, procurement, and execution of a project in any undertaking that has a defined scope, defined start, and a defined finish, regardless of industry. They're usually in charge of the team's day-to-day activities. Don't worry if the definition has confused you. We'll break it down a bit more. So like, ultimately, project management is all about making sure everybody has enough resources to do their job. Enough resources to do their job within time and within budget. That's essentially all it is. As a project manager, you're dealing with so many different types of projects. It could be a construction project. It can be a data migration project. It can be a simple system change. So for example, how one company moves away from using Zoom and instead they start using Microsoft Teams. That can be now a big project for a company, depending on the size of the company, etc. It could be the case of a CRM implementation. A project, it could be absolutely anything. So generally projects are regarded as changes. So your job as a project manager is to manage a change, and there's different changes which affect a business. It could be a process change, it could be a new digital change, or it could be like a new regulation. For example, GDPR has now come in, and now all companies need to become GDPR compliant. Or Brexit's going to be huge. COVID, a lot of companies are now adapting to COVID. So one thing which is really trending in the market right now is digital change specifically. Regulatory and process is good, and that's fine, but digital change is what's happening, because a lot of what's happening is companies are forced to work online right now. And a lot of the companies are allowing their staff to work from home, which is beautiful. It's a bit sad with what's happening in the market right now, but it's beautiful in the sense that it gives everybody some level of flexibility, which is great. So with that being said, a lot of companies are adapting. So Boohoo have just bought out Debenhams. Debenhams is huge, right? They just bought out Debenhams, and they're going to close all Debenhams stores, and they're going fully 100% online, right? So that's a huge digital change. You have Santander, which have just closed like 870 odd branches that they've closed down. They've closed so many branches down, and they're going to be basically going online. They're going to be creating a whole digital app and go more digital, basically, because they don't have enough footfall go into their branches. So it's not just these companies, like every company is pretty much at it. Even during COVID, like you must have seen like how all these movies and like Netflix and stuff like that, a lot of new movies coming out, they were just being launched on Amazon Prime and Netflix, and not cinemas as such. So So there's just a huge digital change which is happening in the landscape right now. And I think this is going to be happening for quite a long time. I hope that makes sense so far. Now that you understand like what project manager is, so project manager as a whole is just about managing the resources, so managing staff, make sure you get the most out of the people that you're managing, make sure that everybody's doing things on time and doing it within the budget that's allocated. All right. Now that you know what it is, what are the required qualifications to break into project management? Now, just before going to that, there's two types of qualifications. You have skill set qualifications and you have product knowledge qualifications. Now, a skill set qualification is basically like being a project manager or being a business analyst. It's a skill set. Management as a whole is a skill set. Whereas product knowledge is like if you're trying to gain an understanding of the product. So probably another way to explain this is that skill set is like sales. Say you're working in sales right now, that's a skill set. Whereas product knowledge is the product that you're selling as such. So whether it's a software solution you're selling online, if it's a pair of bananas, it can be apples, it can be food, it could be computers, laptops, TV, whatever it is, but that's like product knowledge. So the difference between a skill set qualification and a product knowledge qualification. So a typical example would be, say, for example, you're trying to become like a case handler. So you're trying to become a case handler. One case handling qualification is the CERCH. It is a certificate in case handling as such. And that's like a skill set qualification. But a product knowledge qualification is a diploma level 4, which goes through all the mortgage products and insurance and all that sort of stuff, all the financial products. That's product knowledge. So the aim is, if you're looking to make a switch in the career, then you need to get skill set qualifications. Skill set qualifications, you must have heard of these qualifications like Prince2, Scrum Master certification, business analysis, BCS, IIBA, all these type of qualifications, they're all skill set qualifications. Whereas product knowledge is like CMAP, diploma level 4, CIFA, some of the actuarial exams, that's all like product knowledge based qualifications, right? Financial exams. So if you're looking to make a switch if you're looking to break into it, then you need skill set qualifications. But if you're on this call and you're already a project manager, then you need product knowledge qualifications. So that's the case of like learning tools and learning like specific regulations and stuff. So you can manage you can manage that product as such. Okay, so now that I want to make sure that I've explained that right. If you guys can just in the comment section, just state yes, if that makes sense. Right, help me out. Just want to make sure that whatever I'm saying, it makes total sense. So just comment yes in the comment section if it makes sense. Yep, I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Thank you guys. Okay, so what I will do now, okay, so moving on. Okay, next one is what is the actual qualification that you need? So the main qualification that you need, right, is you need a Prince2 Foundation and Practitioner, and the other one is the Scrum Master certification. So Prince2 is like the most common qualification out there right now. It's like the main one. It's only mainly because it's been the most heavily marketed. Prince2, as such, it goes through waterfall. It goes through waterfall approach, and a lot of these projects that you're either dealing in a waterfall approach or an agile approach. They're the two most common terms. It's probably worth noting that down for anybody that's not a project manager right now. You have waterfall and you have agile. And I'll tell you the differences between both of them. So like, so just how I was saying to you guys before, how like you're managing a change on a project, and there's different changes which affect a business. So a process change, a regulation change, or like a new digital change, right? But depending on the change you're implementing for the business, there's different ways a company would manage that project. And those methods are either waterfall approach or an agile approach. They're the two most common ones. You also have another one called Lean Six Sigma, but that's more for manufacturing as such. So waterfall is mainly used on regulatory projects where there is a lot of red tape involved, where there's loads of rules and regulations where you have to get, there's multiple procedures of sign off. So for example, on a construction project, you need to get planning permission first before you actually go about carrying out the building work. Right? But only once you've had that sign off of planning permission can you actually do that. So with waterfall, you only move forward on a project. You're only going forward. You can't go backwards. Whereas agile, you can go back and forth. There's a lot less red tape involved. So it's just back and forth, and there's a much faster speed of delivery. So the world is right now moving towards agile. That's where it's all moving towards. That's where digital change happens. Digital change is agile, and you have process-driven projects and you have regulation projects, which are mainly waterfall. Right? I hope that makes sense. I'm just trying to explain it in the best way I can. Okay, so this is an example of a waterfall approach. So everything is done in stages, step by step by step. You can't go backwards. You're only going forward. All right. So from requirement to design to implementation to verification and then maintenance. Right. Once it's been signed off, it's been completed, you only move forward. So Prince 2 covers the waterfall approach. This was mainly adopted by the government in the early stages. Now, a lot of companies right now, especially with digital change, they want much faster speed of delivery. It doesn't have as much red tape involved, because when you're coding code itself, like developers, like it's just a piece of code. It's like a piece of thin air. They can adapt it, they can change it, they can mold it really fast. Whereas when things require so much sign off, a lot of red tape, then too many heads get involved, right, as such. So it's just a much slower process. You can't move forward until it's signed off. I hope that makes sense. Now, the other qualification that you need is a Scrum Master certification. So you need one waterfall qualification and one agile qualification. Now, if you're working as a permanent employee for a company, you don't know what change you're going to be managing. Because you don't know what change you're going to be managing, it's best to get both qualifications, Prince 2 and Agile. That way, you're equally versed on both, so you know what are the differences between both projects. That's the key difference between like the Scrum Master and Waterfall. So Agile is all about free flow, faster speed of delivery. You can go backwards and forwards, whereas with Waterfall, you can only move forward, you can't go back. They're the key differences. Okay, but one thing to note is that Scrum Master and Agile is massively trending right now. It's huge, it's really powerful, it's really big. It's trending really well right now. And you can do like Google trend search for, for that. It's going crazy right now. So it's definitely worth looking into getting Scrum Master certified. So it's one of the main qualifications. Now, the next part I'm going to cover is how to hunt and get headhunted. Now, this is like this is like one of the key parts I'm going to cover. And within this, I'm going to show you, like, even if you have no experience, I'm going to show you like how you can do your CV up and how you can start applying for jobs. So whether you have minimal experience, no experience, how to use your transferable skills and how to apply for jobs. And then I'll also show you like how to get the distribution out there. So how do you get recruiters and employers to start chasing you rather than you chasing them? So a part of this, I've massively gone through, like the whole headline of this this presentation is how to access the hidden job market. So the hidden job market, I'll tell you briefly what it is and why I keep banging on about how there's a whole hidden job market. What happens is that 80% of the jobs out there, they don't get advertised. 80%, 80. That is huge, right? 80% of jobs don't get advertised. And the reason is because employers always recruit internally first. And if they can't find somebody, they will then go to a recruiter. A recruiter will, like, if you're a good recruiter, you'll never advertise because your network is so strong that you can place candidates into a job and get your commission. But if recruiters are struggling to fill that position up, only then they advertise worst case scenario. So the statistic is that 80% of those jobs don't get advertised whatsoever. So we need to put you in a position where you're getting headhunted, where recruiters and employers are chasing you rather than you chasing them all the time. So the approach that our students do is that it's a mixture. So we teach them how to hunt, but we also show them how to get headhunted using the power of LinkedIn, using the power of automation tools and email lists, right? So the aim is to be able to tap into that 80%. And to tap into that 80%, you have to go direct to recruiters, direct to employers. That's the way. But then it's like, okay, how the hell do you do that? Now, when you go into job boards, you know, fine, you can go on job boards, but there's 100,000 other people applying to the exact same job. So the chance of them contacting you is very, very less. So we need to put you in a position where you're going direct to recruiters and employers. And these are the two approaches I'm going to share with you now. How to hunt and get headhunted overview. So the first way is to send a generic email to a list of thousands of recruiters. Now, for our students, we have a list of 50,000 recruiters, right? Been a bit rogue with that, that interview list. But the aim is to get flooded with so many interviews. That's the whole point. And then it's just a pure numbers game. So initially, the aim is send a generic email out to 1,000 recruiters and you watch your phone and you'll get flooded. I did it, my first time I tried this, it was like 4 years ago, back when I was a project manager. I was looking for my next contract at the time. And I just thought, man, there must be a smarter and faster way to get loads of interviews booked in. I can't be just applying one by one all this time, all this goddamn energy. Like, how do I get recruiters and employers to chase me rather than me chasing them all the time? There has to be a smarter way. So I went on LinkedIn. So back then, what you can do on LinkedIn is you can download your connection list and then you can filter through all the recruiters. So then you can't do that now anymore, but you could back then. So I did that. I filtered it down and I had like 2,000 recruiters and employers. And I filtered it down. I took all my personal connections out and I bulk emailed my CV with a short cover message. And that was it was Sunday night I did that. And Monday morning between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. on the way to work, I had 6 phone calls. I was just flustered with so many damn phone calls throughout the day. I just had loads of interviews booked in. And I got a job through that. And I was just like, well, okay, wow. But not many people know this sort of stuff. So there's a much smarter and faster way. Okay, I can see a couple of questions are coming through. Okay, so question from Jaber and Ippy. So all these questions, I'm going to do them towards the end, but keep noting the questions. I'll keep asking questions in there, and I'll go through all of them towards the end, just so it doesn't disrupt the flow or anything like that. But I'll go through it all, and I've got a hell of a lot more to share with you guys. So I've tried this whole thing when it comes to like sending generic email across like thousands of recruiters, and it's a super powerful technique. So the aim was like, how do I get myself out there, but with minimal energy, with the least amount of energy? Because the current traditional way of applying right now, it sucks. That's the God's honest truth. Like, it's really bad. So we really want to be in a position where they chase you instead. So I'm going to drop an analogy on you guys right now. And this analogy I'm about to share with you guys, it's something pretty much changed my life. Like, I paid a lot of money for this, this damn analogy, right? And it really, really changed my perspective on how I operate business, how I operate everything, like just everything as a whole. And even when I was a project manager in business, I just changed my way of working. And the metaphor goes like this. You can either be a tugboat or you can be a lighthouse, right? And here's the difference. A tugboat, so imagine you're on a boat, you're in the middle of the sea, and you're trying to get back to the shore, trying to get back to the harbor. Now, a boat will come out to you, it will pull you, it will drag you, it will scratch you, but eventually it'll take you back to the harbor. Right? All that time, all that energy it'll spend on you, but eventually it'll get you back. That's the tugboat approach. Right? One by one, all that time, all that energy, you're chasing them. Right? Whereas the lighthouse just stands strong, it shines its light, and the boats just pull into the lighthouse every single time. Less time, less energy, but it positions itself as a specialist, like the go-to guy, like the go-to authority figure, right? So you position yourself as an authority, and they'll come to you. Right? Less time, less energy, right? Rather than doing this whole one-to-one business. So the approach to applying needs to be both. It needs to be you being a lighthouse, but you also being a tugboat at the same time. Tugboats does work. I'm not knocking tugboats, like it does work where you're chasing them, but it's just so much manpower and energy that's required for that. Whereas when you just send a generic email, there's one email, boom, one time energy and it's done. It's like posting on LinkedIn or doing a video. Like it's 10 times easier and better, right? Imagine this, right? Say I'm trying to do this training. Like I can do this individually, one by one. Think about it, that's like 40 hours worth. Or I can just jump on a call like this and do it in 1 hour. Like less time, less energy, right? So it's the same thing. You're trying to adopt that approach in every part. Just comment yes if what I've just said makes sense, please. Good question, John. How will someone get 1,000 recruiters correct email addresses? I will cover that. So there's an automation tool which I'm going to cover with you guys very shortly, where you can extract these emails. So don't worry. Okay. I will save the best part of the last. So perfect. Okay, guys, really appreciate that. Thanks for everyone that commented. Okay, moving on to the next part. Okay, so before you start applying, you need to understand what job titles to apply to first. Right? It makes no sense to start applying and you don't know what the hell you're applying for. So you need to get clarity on the job titles you're applying for. So you need to understand which job titles you're applying for. So you need to search on JobServe, Indeed, Reed, Total Jobs, LinkedIn, CW Jobs. Now, these are the main job portals that are out there. I'm sure there must be loads of others like London Jobs and this job and that job. There's so many different job portals. That doesn't find, right? Google search them. But like job portals only make sense if like you're applying within the last 24 hours. So if the job's been posted in the last 24 hours, only then. If it's anything over 24 hours, more than likely you probably won't be contacted. The market's hammered. People only like to apply to what they can see. No one likes to apply to things which they can't see. Right? That's why it's it's an unorthodox approach to applying, but it's a super effective approach to applying. Right? Because you guys must have heard the saying, man. Your net worth is your network, right? Or the opposite, your network is your net worth. And it's so damn true. Like it's all about the damn network. You need to be in a position where you're able to ring a recruiter, pick that phone up, give them a call, and they're able to position you, like put you in a job straight away. Or you speaking to like an ex-senior manager that you previously worked with. Like that's how tight your network needs to be, where you can go from job to job within a phone call. Like that's how strong it needs to be. But it takes time to get there. So first, before you start applying for any jobs, you need to understand what jobs you're applying for. So you can search for project management roles on these job portals. And these are all the different variations of job titles you can go for. Now, what you need to understand is that companies make job titles up to make their staff feel special. You really need to understand this. Like, if you can understand this, things will start making a lot more sense, right? So in order for companies to prevent paying the staff more, they want to make the staff feel really, really special. And they give like the best job titles ever. And so like, project manager, continuous improvement manager, PMO manager. A lot of companies just make these job titles up, right? And it's like how they make them up usually is like, okay, they have a problem and they just either put analyst or manager at the end of it. I have a problem with my table. I'm looking for a table manager. That's essentially how it works. Like, I'm not lying. Like this is this is how it works. I've been in those meetings, like so. Right. So the case, look, these are the essential job titles, right? I don't want to digress from the point, but like you need to understand all the different job titles. So these are all the different variations that you have. So you don't need to just only stick to project manager. There's so many variations. So continuous improvement manager, PMO manager. PMO stands for Project Management Office. So PMO manager, a PMO, project support lead, project lead, risk manager, change lead, compliance manager, program analyst, program manager, agile project manager, BI project manager, IT project manager. Like there's so many damn variations of the same thing that it's pretty much doing the same thing all over. All these jobs are the same. It's just difference in job titles. So don't restrict yourself to only applying for project management roles. Apply to all these others. Loads of other jobs. Okay, I hope that makes sense so far. Now, what you could do, right, as a task, right, do a broad keyword search in your industry to identify all the job titles. For example, type in project manager, and then narrow down the search further to identify all the job titles which are related. Pretty straightforward, right? So you can note it down. I'm sure there'll be like much more job titles than this. I was just only able to fit this on one slide, but I'm sure that there's a lot more job titles than this that you guys can come out with. Now, next part. So now that you guys understand what kind of jobs you're applying for, now it's the case of how do you create a comprehensive CV, right? This is like one of the most important parts. How do you create a really good CV? So we use something called the 6-figure CV template. You guys can download it from my website. It's letsaskshaz.com. Just head over to the resources section and you can download the 6-figure CV template. It's a super powerful template. It's the same template our students use. In fact, what I'll do is I'll show you very briefly. Actually, hold on. I'm not going to skip. I'm going to go through this presentation first and then I'll share with you guys. Okay. So most job specifications, they're usually split into 3 areas. You have the job summary, you have job duties and qualifications. If you go on any job spec on Indeed or Total Jobs, they're all written in this way. And they usually write it in order of importance. So the first bullet point is usually the most important one. Think about the person that's writing it. What are they thinking about? Now, they're obviously going to write down the first bullet points are going to be the one that's the most pressing one. Like that's the biggest problem for them. Hence, that's why it's the first bullet point, because that's what's come to their head. That's the first thing that's come. And then it's the second and third and fourth and fifth. So you want to lay out your CV in order of importance as well, so it targets their pain points. All right. So you can highlight keywords in each job specification that you go for, the key buzzwords, and you want to make sure those key buzzwords, they're in your CV as well. So when a recruiter or an employer does a keyword search on your CV, then it makes sure it hits everything. Now, it hits all the expectations. Now, the main thing is with your CV, it needs to meet all expectations. Now, when I mean hit all expectations is that, think of it like this. Now, when somebody applies to a job, most people, now I used to think like this as well. I used to think it was all about qualifications only. And qualifications are great and it makes sense, but this market, project management market, is not regulated. It's not like being a doctor, a solicitor, accountant. Those markets are regulated, so you definitely need those qualifications. Project management is more about, like, qualifications help, but it's more about experience and results. This game is an experience and results game. Now you need to understand, like, now a normal person applying for a job, they think that they need every qualification under the sun first. When it goes to a recruiter will look at your CV and he'll think that, okay, I want to see all the keywords. Where are the keywords on the CV? And then when it gets to an employer looks at your CV and they're like, hold on, if I'm going to pay this person £50,000 a year, I want to see at least, how can this person save me £500,000? Or how can this person make me £500,000? Like, this person needs to be able to demonstrate on their CV or state it how much money they've made a company, saved a company, or how much time they saved them. Right? But I'll go into this further, but you can see there's 3 different expectations now. So the job seeker applying is thinking about qualifications. The recruiter is thinking about keywords, right? Because recruiter's not involved in the process. For them, they just want to find the right candidate, hand it over to the client, and you get the commission. That's all they're worried about. And the employer, they're like, hold on, I'm gonna, give away my kids' inheritance money. I'm gonna be like employing the staff, and I'm being paid this person £50,000 a year or £100,000 a year. What value does this person actually bring? Can he actually deliver? Yeah, so he wants to know facts, figures, and percentages now. So there's 3 different types of expectations. So your CV has to cover all 3 expectations. And then on top of that, once it gets to recruiter stage, recruiters post, if they struggle to fill the position, they post it online. And when they post it online, they use something called application tracking system, ATS robots. Those robots scan CVs for keywords. And if the keywords don't match, it deletes your CV. It doesn't even get to the recruiter. So things are very sophisticated right now. They're super sophisticated. So so the CV needs to target every single expectation, so you're able to bypass all stages. So this is how it works. So job description, so you got the job summary, that goes into the profile summary. You have your job duties, which goes to the experience, and you have your qualifications, which goes to the education. Right? Now you have 2 optional paragraphs, which is the achievement section and technical competencies. They're the 2 optional ones, which 100% I would recommend. The more senior you are, the more you have to do that. So job summary for profile summary, job duties for experience, and qualifications hits the education part of your CV. Right? So like for like. So your CV must mirror job descriptions. And then you've got your optional sections of achievement section and technical competencies. I really, really hope that this is making sense so far. Now, next part is the structure of your CV. So what I'm going to go through now is the entire CV, the structure, and then I'm also going to go through like how to like apply for jobs using your transferable skills, even if you don't have experience, or even if you have little experience, or some level of experience and you're trying to break into it. What do you do? Right? So, okay. So this is the structure of your CV I'm going to go through next. So just how I stated over here, so you got profile summary, experience, education, achievement section, and technical competencies, right? In fact, rather than going through all this, right, what I'll do is I'll just go through the 6-figure CV template directly. And that would probably be easier because you guys can see it in a Word document format. Can you guys just confirm, just shout out yes if you guys can see my screen okay? I've just changed screen to the 6-figure CV template. Just comment yes if you can see it okay. Yeah, perfect, thank you. Okay, so next up we have is the 6-figure CV template. So this is a piece of art. This is what this is. Okay, it's art and it's a science. I can take that back, it's a science. Okay, so how this works is we start off first with the name on top over here. Now, normally when you put your name, how you really want to do this is you want to do it name and then put the title over here like this, project manager. That's how you really want to do it. So you put your name, project manager, then you have your location preferences, put your availability. So location preferences, so nationwide or remote working, whatever you want to put. Most jobs are remote working right now, so definitely take advantage of that. Availability, put like 2 weeks notice, whatever your notice period is. If you do it immediately, do it immediately. Contact details, email, and a link to your LinkedIn profile. That's a must. Like, you guys need to really understand LinkedIn, man, because like LinkedIn is like the foundation of your entire career. That's what that is. It allows you to like build upon it over time. And the more you build it, the more you earn long term. Kind of like your CV to an extent, but it's online, is with the social aspect. So I'll talk about more about LinkedIn in a bit, but definitely you need a LinkedIn profile. And then on the right hand side, have a professional picture. Now, some people may be in two minds about professional pictures, but I'm telling you now, guys, if you have a professional picture, the chances of you securing a job is much higher. It shows that you're ready for business. It shows that you're high end, that you're a damn lighthouse. Yeah, you always want to position yourself as lighthouse. The way you walk, the way you talk, what you wear, the way you smell, everything counts. That professional picture, it shows that you're ready for work, you're ready for business. All you need to do is go in, go out where there's a bit of greenery, go out where there's some office buildings, use your phone, use I think there's something called beauty cam. You can use the beauty cam filters. Okay. Take a picture, be suited and booted, no tracksuits, no funny poses. I'll show you some like the right kind of poses you can do. I'll show you my professional picture that I have and some of the other stuff. But power poses, business poses that you need. There's some for female, there's some for men. We'll show you that. But professional picture definitely helps. You can do it for free. You just need a phone and you can just edit it or something like that. Now, next part over here is personal statement. Now, the aim is to make the CV fully comprehensive. So it needs to include everything. It can't just be like one thing. Like everything needs to be in here. So the first bullet point is like, okay, I'm an astute professional with over 6 years strong experience in performing X, Y, and Z tasks, such as, and you can talk about some of the tasks, very briefly, keywords, and within X, Y, and Z industry. Second bullet point will be the technical tools you've used. So possess strong knowledge of VBA concepts such as, and then talk about some of the tools. It can even be Microsoft Office, Excel, PowerPoint, MS Office. Most of you guys working in banks and stuff, like you can talk about some of the banking systems, Charter and like Respond and like just all these systems, just talk about them. You can say that you're proficient in, other types of tools. Then the third bullet point. So this one, we recently changed this, right? So rather than having it like this, how you really want to do it is like this. So you want to do your third bullet point as a tangible result. Now, the biggest mistake by far, what most people do in their career is that they don't lead with the results. That's the biggest mistake most people make. People lead with qualifications and some lead with some level of experience. But what beats all of that is results. If you got results, it doesn't matter how many years of experience you have. Like, let me just demolish this whole experience crap, right? Because like, you are only as good as your last performance. So what you've done 10 years ago doesn't matter. What you've done 5 years ago doesn't matter. All that matters is what you're doing right now and what you've recently done. That's all employers care about. So like, don't feel like you need 10 years of experience. You don't need that much experience. Right? Any job, you don't need that much experience. Companies ask for it, 5 years experience. You can use your transferable skills for any previous experience. That's not an issue. But don't feel like you need 10 years of experience, because you really don't. Now, what trumps all of experience is results. You have results, people will pay you. It's all about results. Like, would you guys, like, it's like, okay, we do these programs, right? Now, would you guys do it based on the fact that I have 10 years project management experience? Or would you want to do it based on my student success stories about like the results I've actually got for students, real-time results? You do it from real-time results. I don't care about my experience. You've got results. Who cares? Right? Even if I had 1 year experience of project management, but because I have results, that's all that matters. Right? So honestly, like results. But results have to be quantified. They have to be quantified, no matter what. And the best way to write it is like this. So you state what you did, you state the result, and then you state the impact. What you did is like, okay, you implemented a coaching strategy. The result is in the operation, which reduced labor turnover. And then the impact is by a staggering 33%. Quantify it. always stay like a result would be anytime you've managed to save a company money, you've made a company money, or you save the company time, right? Quantifiable end results. That's all that matters in your entire career. And where people mess up is they don't track this. You track this throughout your entire career from day one. You track this and you keep tracking it all the way to the end. And the more you track this, the more you get paid long term. It's the only thing that matters. So I'm gonna say it one more time, right? So tangible results, so quantifiable end results, it's all about how much money you've made a company, how much money you have saved a company, and how much time you have saved a company. If you need to write that down, write it down. Like, honestly, it's like the most important thing. I wish someone told me this stuff like a long time ago, because it would have helped me like tenfold. But this is like the most important key. Just comment yes if what I've just said right now, just if it makes sense. Perfect. Okay. I really hope you guys are like benefited from this. I hope it's making sense of stuff. Perfect. Okay. Yep. Awesome. Can I explain again for Jubair? Yep. So it's all about, so the experience part, the tangible results. So that's all about how much time you have saved a company, how much money you have made a company, or how much money you have saved a company. They're the only three things that you need for quantifiable end results. Only three things. Okay, moving on. So next is, so you want to lead with that, and you want that right on top of your CV. Third bullet point, because it's like, and this one has to be different to everything else. This is like the highlight of your entire damn career. Even if it's done so much to do with a charity, put that there. Like, put something that's like crazy, like absolutely crazy, like the highlight of your career. And then the next three key accomplishments, these are going to be like what you did, the result, and the impact. So three more. Write the companies. If you worked at ABC company, then ABC2, whatever companies you worked at, do like three different ones. Make sure they're different. Next, you have your technical proficiencies. So this allows you to bypass the ATS robot. So delete this line over here. But this is for the ATS robots, because they will scan through your CV, and if the keywords don't match the job description, they will automatically delete the CV, and it won't even get to the recruiter. So make sure the keywords are there. Wherever you don't understand, take it out, but make sure you have the keywords. Experience. Now this is a good one. So we have a macro statement, and then we have a micro statement. Macro, micro, and then you got your key achievements again. So your macro statement is a high-level overview of what you've done in that job. So you're responsible for project management tasks, such as doing Gantt charts, doing this, doing that, within the department of a £10 million medium-sized organization within the education and summer industry. So along those lines. So a high-level overview, given the context of where you were working, what you're responsible for doing, how large the organization was. It's a big difference being a project manager at Ali's Kebab House and being a project manager at Deloitte. A huge difference. The scale is completely different. So that's why it's important to state like how big the organization is. Is it small? Is it medium? Is it large? Some companies have never been heard of, but they're really big companies, right? So obviously with Lloyd, Santander, you probably won't need to write that. But some companies, they're huge, but you've never heard of them. So it's definitely worth writing down how big the organization is. Okay, next one we have over here is the micro statement. So micro statement is what you did, it's the context, and then it's the purpose. So most people only write what they've done. So what you did, that's all people write. They do small bullet points. And next thing you know, you have like 20 damn bullet points. It's too much. You could condense it into like 5 to 8 bullet points max, right? So this is an example. So overseeing 3 projects, delivering 3 bespoke websites under strict deadlines in order to increase brand awareness and sales for the company. So I've stated what I did, I've stated the context, and I've stated the purpose behind it. And that gets rid of like those damn 20 bullet points. You just condense it down. Recruiters, like, they only come to receive like 8 seconds. That's all you have. So you don't need to do paragraphs and paragraphs. Just keep it short, concise, to the point. And then you need eight of these bullet points. And then the achievements, again, achievements again. Now, these achievements have to be different to the key accomplishments here and the main one over here. The more you lead with the results, the better it is. Now, if you don't have results that you can think of off the top of your head, estimate them. Estimate them. Like, somehow, some way, right, your work has like some level of impact. Whether you're working in sales, whether you're working in complaint handling, regardless of what you're doing, you're either making money, saving money, or saving time. You're doing one of the three. That's the purpose of your job. If you're in customer service, you're saving them money because you give good service, you have less complaints, which means less refunds, right? And you're not getting sued. You're saving them money. You can spin it however you want to spin it, right? And you can just put a ballpark figure. If you're dealing with 100 calls a day, then okay, be like, okay, I'm preventing 100 complaints right now. If these complaints went through to the FCA and or it goes to falls, like £900 per case, that's like £900,000, right? In one day, I'm saving the company. you estimate it, is what I'm trying to say to you guys. I hope that makes sense. Like, don't completely make it up, but like, you can do a rough estimation of the impact of your work. Last one is education. So most recent, then do your professional certifications and recognition. You can stay all that stuff. But education, always put at the bottom. Don't lead with education. Look, I get it. In our culture, it's all about like education, getting the PhD, getting like that MBA, getting all that stuff. But honestly, like, the higher up you go, the more it's about results, then it's about experience, and then about qualifications, right? Qualifications is always at the bottom, because being book smart is different to being street smart. And street smart goes way more further ahead than book smart. So guys, honestly, like, lead with the results as much as you can, then the experience, and then the qualifications. Okay, I really, really hope that makes sense. So this is it. So what you can do for this, right, is this is my website, let'saskshaz.com. If you want a copy of that CV, all you have to do is head on over to resources, go onto the 6-figure CV template, and you can download CV template. Just put your details in over here. Just put your name and email address, and then send me template, check your email, and you have it. Perfect. Okay, so definitely do that. Resources 6 figures. It's the exact same CV our students use, and they're getting jobs. Like, I can give you a really good example of Fatima. Fatima, she basically, Fatima was an accounts assistant that joined us, and she was on £29,000 a year. She had no degree, she had no college, nothing like that, and she just secured a £70,000 a year job. 29 to £70,000 a year. She then made her husband join us. Her husband was earning £45,000 a year as a part qualified accountant, and he's not on a £450 a day contract. So these guys went from a combined income of 75k to a combined income of 180k. So this headline here, learn how to build a 6-figure career by accessing the job market. This is true. It's really, really true, right? Well, so many people, like, which are taking over 6 figures and beyond, a lot of which is like 60k, 70k, but it's still a massive improvement. Okay. Okay, next one we have is going. Yep. Okay. Okay, so now that we've gone through this, the achievements, stuff like that, we've been through the CV. Now it's like, okay, how do you actually go about filling that template out? So I have a brief example over here for you guys, so I can show you. So this is a completed version of the template. So we go through, like, first off, you got this section over here. So I'm an accomplished Agile and Prince 2 certified accredited project manager with 5 years experience and a proven track record in delivering multi-million-pound initiatives within the financial service sector, confident managing the full project lifecycle, to achieve delivery on time within budget and to the agreed quality specifications. Recognize as an influence leader who specializes in implementing large-scale process and regulatory change with minimal impact on day-to-day operations. You can have keywords here if you want. Implemented tailored CRM solutions for Big Four accounting firms, which might reduce wastage by 34%. The project was delivered on time, achieving a budget surplus. He's got more key achievements. He's got technical proficiencies. And then you can see here, macro statement. So he stated the budget aimed to deliver a bespoke LMS to replace a third-party system being used. He's got all the micro statements here. Then he's got key achievements again. And then again. Now, it's important to have consistency in your CV. Consistency is key. Like, if you don't just like have one experience, which is just the key bullet points, and then the next one is actually laid out like this. Like, it's about consistency. Make a CV look nice and easy to read. Have the right white space. Make it look nice and funky. But make sure that you have the role overview, like the macro statement. Then you have like the key responsibilities and the key achievements here. Like, have the 3 sections every single time. Don't miss a section. Consistency is key. Like, they'll be expecting the same like throughout your CV, so they understand your CV much better. And then education, he's put that right at the bottom. Reference available on request. This you don't really even need to put there, but it's fine. And another good thing that you could do is possibly put your email and telephone number in the head over here, right underneath it. So that way it shows on absolutely every page. That's another good hack for you guys. Right. So definitely try that. But yeah, this is like the CV and stuff. This is the completed version of it. It's quite self-explanatory. But like, look, if you're working, like you have like your primary skill set and then you have your secondary skill set. So for many of you guys on this call right now, we've ascertained that many of you guys are thinking about going towards project management. Now, personally, I would only suggest to go towards project management if you have some level of management experience. If you have some level of management experience, like you're managing a team of people, I would say 100% go for the project management. Go for project management. By all means, after this call, I will discuss very, very briefly like how you guys can get in touch if you wanted to. But if there's anybody on this call who has 0 management experience, I would 100% suggest go towards becoming a business analyst instead. This makes 10 times more sense than project management if you have no project management experience or no management experience as such, specifically management. I'll explain very briefly towards the end, like why I say for those who have no experience for business analyst, and for those who do have experience to go towards project management, because it's about an easy transition to make, but with little risk. Project management's high risk. You're dealing with multi-million-pound budgets. It's not a joke. It's beyond a joke at this point. I'll explain it, why I'm saying and what I'm saying. But okay, I don't want to digress too much. I want to keep it on track. So primary skills versus secondary skills. So, so with primary skills as such, okay, so any questions, I will do it towards the end. So I can see Jabet, I can see you ask questions. I will go through this towards the end.
Do we have a stab at the second poll?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Let's do it. I was going to do that towards LinkedIn, but yeah, we can do that now. We can do that now.
Do that now. Okay, fine. So let me launch the poll.
So guys, a quick few-minute break. So we're just going to send a second poll out where I'm just going to ask you another few questions just to ascertain, like, in terms of what job platforms are the best for project management jobs. How formal do you dress for a virtual meeting interview? What is the most important to you when interviewing for a PM role?
You can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, we started it.
Perfect. Okay. Which of the job platforms do you think is best for project managers? Or what? A few of us have mentioned LinkedIn. I hope you're not mentioning that just because I've been banging on about it so much.
Maybe, just maybe.
Everyone's just saying LinkedIn right now. How formal do you dress for a virtual meeting interview? Smart casual. Okay. Business attire. Perfect. What is the most important to you when interviewing for a new PM role? Good salary increase, role and skill seeking new challenge. Yeah, it makes sense. I guess everyone has different basic needs. I guess initially it's always about like the money as such, but then after that it's like challenge, about autonomy, it's about all of that. So I guess I can see there's a really good mixed response.
Yeah, so I'll make a stop in the next 10 seconds. We have 52 participants so far, 55. Let's see whether we can make it up to 60, 70. Come on, guys, let's push it. Just get in there. 56. And we can stop now. 58. Get to 60. Okay, I'll share the results. 61. Yeah. So I've ended the poll, and I'll share the results. Shaz, what do you think? So that's the
amazing. So which of the job platforms you think is best for project management jobs? So total jobs, we've got 29%. We have Indeed at 8%, LinkedIn at 58%. I hope I've not influenced that, guys. You find your career is 4%. How formal do you dress for a virtual meeting, interview? Most bulk of 75% have said business attire. Smart casual is fine as well. When you're at home and stuff, it is. But I guess you can never be overdressed on interview. What is most important to you when interviewing for a PM role? So a good salary increase, the role and job description, seeking a new challenge. No one's mentioned frustrated with previous role, but that's actually quite a big one. I did a similar poll to this on LinkedIn, and I found people are like frustrated with previous role. Oh, that's quite interesting. It's actually really good results. This. Okay, this is really good. Okay, I'm going to carry on with the rest of it. I know we got about another 20 minutes to half an hour left. We'll do Q&A at the end as well. I don't want to bore you because there's so much knowledge I want to share with you guys, but I don't want to overwhelm you and scare you off. So I'll try not to scare you off. Okay, so back to it was that primary skills versus secondary skills. So when applying for project management roles, you want to use all your transferable skills. Transferable skills are like your secondary skills. So your primary skill is like, say, for example, I'm working in a sales job and I want to apply for like a project management role. Now, in a sales job, I'm dealing with so many different stakeholders. I'm managing the sales pipeline. Notice how I'm saying managing. So managing the sales pipeline, I'm managing all the customers, managing all the different key stakeholders. I'm attending meetings and workshops. You know, I'm managing quite a lot as a sales person. So like you can use that to your advantage. And all those secondary skills, anything related to managing some sort of change. So for example, the company has recently moved from using one CRM to another CRM. And you can talk about like how you were a part of that change. Even better, if you're currently in a sales job right now, you can learn some project management and you can do some of the tasks in your job and talk about it on your CV. That's the easiest way. So that way you can actually like talk about it and reference it. And you can shadow the sales manager, shadow the PMs over there, you shadow people in your current workplace. So you can comfortably talk about it on your CV. So primary skills are like me doing actual sales, so getting on the phone call, pitching to customers, selling product. Where secondary skills is everything else, anything related to project management. So the common denominator is change. Between your current job and the job you're applying to is change. So business analysis, project management, it's all about change. Managing a change or implementing a change. So all you need to talk about is how you are part of managing a change. Right? And that's all your secondary transferable skills. That's all you need to talk about. Cool. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I need to move forward. So example. So the example, I've been through the example CV itself. I've shown you guys that. So next part is, and the part which is like probably the most important part. You guys are going to absolutely love this. I'll be surprised if you don't love this at the end. How to get headhunted using LinkedIn. So now, this is it. So screenshot it or write it down if you need to. So there's different parts to LinkedIn as a whole. So one is optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Then you have posting content at least 3 times a week, searching and applying for jobs and contracts, downloading automation tools. So what our students mainly use is Linked Helper and SalesQL. And then sending an email out to hundreds of connections. So whether that's like a lot of it is automated. Like these automation tools basically do everything for you on your LinkedIn profile. So you have a robot applying for you. That's beautiful. That's easy. Less time, less effort. You're a lighthouse. You shine your light, you let them come to you every single time. So like, so look, with LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn's like your website. Sure, you can create a website, but how do you get people on your website? It's like a CV. You can create a CV, which is fine, but how do you get your CV out there in front of thousands of people? How do you get in front of all the right people in the world? That's the hard part. Like, there's people out there willing to pay you 2-3 times more than what you're currently getting paid. The problem is that they don't even know that you exist. That's the issue you're having. It's a marketing issue. So you need to learn how to exist. And once you learn that, you'll never struggle to get a job ever in your life. Like you'll figure it out. This is the process on how to do it. So first off, how to hunt for jobs and contracts online. So optimize your profile and connection strategy. So I'm going to go through this in a lot more detail. Boom. Okay. So this is my LinkedIn profile, right? So notice how I do this. So I position myself as a high-level authority, have a professional picture. This picture's done me absolute wonders. Then you've got the headline, which is certain keywords in there. Then I have an about section, which about me, about the company, why choose this, how do we get started. Then we have experience section over here with media images. I have also a featured section over here on top. Join us on Career Hacking Live. Now I'm working as a business, student testimonials, Patrick Gewer, all these different ones. Training endorsements over here, 99 plus on each one. 52 recommendations, students who've got jobs, blah, blah. So you can see like all this, right, is optimized. So now when somebody goes on my profile, they review it, then the chance of them reaching out and messaging me is 10 times higher because it's very targeted towards that person, the person that's reading it. It's not just about me, it's what I've done for people. So optimizing your profile is one thing. And then the other thing is, how do you get people on your profile? There's 2 parts to this. Now, one of our most successful students is Shahid Khan. So definitely, first off, definitely reach out, definitely connect with me. My name is Shaz Shafiq, career strategist. So that's all come up. Definitely reach out to me. Definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. But besides that, one of our successful students is Shahid Khan. Now, he went down the BA route, and right now, last time I spoke to him, I think he's like hybrid BA PM right now, so he's leading quite a lot. So I'll go through his LinkedIn profile because his profile is probably one of the best I've seen of our students. Like, he followed the process step by step. I'll talk you through what he's done and why he's done it. So first is all about optimizing. So he's got a high-end banner over here. Is all about work, office building. Is showing that he's ready. Now, the higher up you go, so a CV and LinkedIn profile only takes you up to like £500-600 a day. If you're trying to get to like £700-800 on £1,000 a day jobs, your CV and your LinkedIn profile won't. Like, you have to go beyond that. Then it's like your own mini website and a presentation PowerPoint slide deck. So the positioning changes. The higher up you go, the positioning has to change. It can't be the same. But this is enough to help you get to really like up to 100K jobs and stuff. Probably up to like 120K it'll get you up to. So you got the behind banner first, then you got image, make sure it's professional, warm, welcoming, suited, booted, smiling into the camera. Then you have this over here, then you got like your job title, and then you got all the relevant keywords. This is super important over here because as recruiters go onto the recruiter platform and they type in certain keywords, you want your profile to rank right on top. This is how you get headhunted. Our students on average get about 35 recruiters reaching out to them every single month. That's a lot of recruiters. That's a lot of headhunting. It's because the profiles are really optimized. And so having like project manager, continuous improvement manager, all the different job titles, having some relevant keywords and stuff like that, have that in here. So when they're searching, your profile comes up. Next is about me. So this about section. So he doesn't have a feature section, but you can write an article, you can share a video, like all that stuff is trending over the next 10 years. The market's going to change drastically. Everything's going to go towards people having their own videos and all sorts of stuff. So guys, get started right now. There's no reason why you can't. Now, about section here, he has about me, why work with me, who do I work with, what type of services do I provide, how to get in touch with me. 5 headings. About me, why work with me, who do I work with, what type of services do I provide, how to get in touch with me. Now you can see like how he wrote 4 million, 12 million. He's leading with the results. Like 12 years experience. He got a £450 a day contract through LinkedIn. He was earning 45k before, and he was a part qualified accountant. Another part qualified accountant. So 45k to £450 a day. It's like a double, triple jump. It's a huge jump. So you can see over here, like step by step. Then you have, okay, his followers drastically increased. Last time I was on profile, about 3,000 followers. So it's really good. He's very active. Then you have experience, high-level overview, and achievements. You don't state your key duties, but high-level overview, key achievements. Then you have same. You want to do that for all of them. High-level overview, achievements. High-level overview, achievements. Do that for every one of your experiences. And then you have your education. You have your licenses and certifications. You've got TLA over here, BCS, Shafiq. You got your endorsements over here, BA, business analysis, user acceptance testing, problem solving. And then he's got these key achievements over here. Recommendations. Now this recommendation is super important because it's not so much about what you say about yourself, it's about what other people say about you. This is why I'm so strong on the testimonial, the review, video review game, because like I don't care about, like, it's not about what I say, it's about what other people say about me. What's the other people's experiences. And it's the same thing with you, right? Like, what are other people saying about you working with you? So when enough people are talking about you and saying something good, that means, you're the dog's bollocks. like enough people know you, so you're credible. And think about it, it's a huge risk for any employer to just hire somebody they don't even know. That's a huge risk. Why are they going to take that risk? They don't want to take that risk. So you have to ease it for them. So the more social proof you show, the better. So more recommendations. And soon, like, you can even add like a recommendation from someone, add it onto your CV. Quote, like do a quotation. You can do all sorts. Think outside the box. But this is super powerful. So really, really good. You've got 21 recommendations, which is really good. And that's what everyone should be like. This is like the perfect profile to mimic. Like, this is like on point. £450 a day contract, you got out of this. So it really works. And you can see it's super structured, very easy to read and go through. But now, look, I've talked about that through death. I've got other things to move forward on, right? So LinkedIn profile is one. Now that you optimized it, that was the case. How do you get people on your LinkedIn profile? To get people on your LinkedIn profile, the fastest way is by posting content. Posting content. So sorry guys, I think I'm just jumping ahead. Okay, I need to cover one more point before I jump onto content. So optimize your profile, fine. You got your connection strategy, so just connect with loads of recruiters and employers. your profile is only as good as the people that you connect to. So if you're connecting to people that have no value to you, don't connect with them. If you're looking to shift jobs and you're thinking that, okay, maybe my current employer may mind, block them, right? Have full recruiters and employers only and nothing else. That's all your LinkedIn profile should be about. Recruiters, employers, you don't even need friends on there, just recruiters and employers, like a solid network of the right people who are going to buy you as a service. That's what it's about. So have a solid connection base. Now, LinkedIn recommendations. Now, in order to increase your recommendations, now within our student community, all our students leave each of the recommendations. We've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students, right? So a lot of our students like leave each recommendation. That's why he's got 21, right? Because students leave it, you leave them recommendation, they leave you recommendation. But if you're looking to, if you have 0 right now, or like 1, 2, and you're looking to get a lot more, this is the paragraph you need to email or message your previous co-colleagues. I'll read it out for you guys. I hope you don't mind me asking, but would you be so kind as to write a brief recommendation for me? If I've helped or assisted you in any way, I sincerely appreciate a few unbiased words that will give others the confidence to work with me. Either way, thanks. That's all you need to write, and message that to 50 people. At least 20% will message you back. 20% will actually leave a recommendation. So it's definitely worth sending this paragraph out to like 50 people and just seeing who leaves a recommendation. So that's one really good way of increasing it. Okay, next up we have is posting strategy. So I was talking about before how to optimize your profile, but now that your profile is optimized, it's more about, okay, how do you get people onto your profile? That's the hard part. How do you get people in profile? So posting is like the most important part, period. Like it's lighthouse. You shine your light, you let them come to you. The ratio is 4-to-1 ratio. So for every 4 posts you put out there, you have 1 call to action. So for every achievement-based post you put out there, or any knowledge-based post, you do 1 call to action. A call to action post is like, well, actually, I have a few examples for you guys to show you guys. So this is an example of an achievement story-based post. So I put out my career timeline. My career timeline of 2011, what I was doing, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 and 16, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. So last 10 years, what I've done, right? 2018, formed less-shaz.com to help struggling professionals switch careers. 2019, 336% growth in business and hundreds of students' lives changed with high-end contracts and jobs secured. 2020, whilst most businesses are tracking during the pandemic, we are struggling to expand. Last week, we met our first milestone and broke 100K a month. I hope my career journey can inspire yours. Learn from those who have proven success. Happy weekend. So, and started off with degree and just go through your struggle, and like you can put a post out like this about yourself, career timeline. Why should people even bother listening to you? And so by doing a career timeline, you're showing them your experience in a nutshell. How you started in a call center, but now you're doing something else, right? Like what was the years? What was the progression like? People get inspired by this. They love this. I had loads of engagement on this. Likes, comments, people messaging me, reaching out to me. That's an achievement. Call to action post is like this. I've had an absolute blast working with my colleagues this summer. It is now time to say farewell whilst I wrap up my current project. I will be back on the hunt for my next client. If you have any positions within business analysis or project management, DM me, right? That's a call to action post. You're asking them, like, but you're asking them in a good way. You're not be like, oh, guys, please help me. You're not doing that stuff. Never act desperate, no matter what. Do not act desperate. You have to be that busy restaurant all the time. Even if you don't have a job right now and like you're trying to apply for a job, act like you've got it. Like act like you've got another 2 job offers, and you have to bluff at times as well. Like, but if you act like that, like honestly, like if you act successful will find you. Now, I'm not talking about fake it till you make it. I'm not talking about that stuff, right? But the energy of success, like it attracts more success, right? If you attract desperate and needy, that's all you'll attract. Like People don't like that. Don't ever position yourself like desperate or needy. It has to be like high end. You position yourself at high end, you'll get high end results. You position yourself at low end, you'll get low end opportunities. Don't be that low end person. Okay, so next up is, guys, I'm gonna have to skip past through some of this stuff because we're going way over time. So like search for jobs in content, search for jobs, message recruiters direct is very, very straightforward to do. It's just going specifically within LinkedIn itself and searching within the platform for jobs. Now, going through the automation tools, very briefly, linked helper, this is super powerful. I can't show you guys how it works. That'll take me forever. It'll take me another 2 hours. I'm sure I've bombarded with you guys with so much knowledge right now. You guys probably having a headache. And guys, I'm fasting right now. So like my throat is dry as hell. So you guys got no excuse if you're not fasting. But if anybody is fasting on this call, Ramadan Mubarak, for anybody that's on the call, that's fasting and is Muslim. But yeah, so, okay, so automation tool we have right now is Linked Helper. This is a powerful tool to automate your LinkedIn profile. It has all the instruction guides, everything on linkedhelper.com. Go on there and download it. You can basically auto visit your connections profiles. You can add new connections. You can send bulk messages to all the recruiters and employers. It does so much. It increases your endorsements, everything. Like it's fully automated, it's your LinkedIn profile. So definitely check that out. The other one, and this is the secret baby which I've been hiding, which is SalesQL. This is a powerful tool used to extract emails from LinkedIn. Right? So you can extract emails from LinkedIn itself, and it's more than 80% accurate. And I've managed to extract 50,000 of these. 50,000. Like this is why our students are getting jobs pretty much every day. We average about 2 to 3 students getting jobs every single day, because this process is powerful as hell. It works. It really, really works. SalesQL, download that, go through the website. It'll show you like how to extract those emails, how to bulk email everyone across. This is a generic email message you can send across. So hi, first name. My name is Shaz Shafiq, and I was most recently a project manager at ABC Limited. I'm very interested in finding out more about the current roles you're recruiting for. I specialize in project management process improvement with a proven track record of streamlining process procedures. I have strong X, Y, and Z experience. I feel I would bring value to any roles you may have within the space. Please take a look at my resume and let me know next steps if possible. You can reach me on such and such. Alternatively, you can contact me on so and so. Attach a CV, send it across. 50,000 recruiters. You will get bombarded with so many phone calls. You will get hammered. Right? You'll have to change your phone number is what you need to do. That's how busy going to be. So it definitely really works. Powerful. Now we're coming towards the end right now. So guys, just another like 10 minutes or so. Won't be too long. Do apologize for going slightly over. Just super excited. Really want to share this with you guys. How to track your applications. So this is Workray. So a system our students use is Workray. This is like a dashboard, which many, it's like a CRM. So CRM is like a customer relationship management tool. A lot of companies use CRM tools where they host all their customers' details. We use ActiveCampaign as our CRM. It holds all our customers' details. So just like how we do that, you can do that for your job applications. It's called Workray. So you can apply through there. You can get job alerts through there. You can track like what stage you're at with each application. It's so important to track your applications, like, because you don't know where you're going wrong if you don't track it. Perfect example is, right, say you send your CV across to 50 applications and you're only getting 5% callback rate. So only 5% of 50 applications is calling you back. That means there's a problem with your CV. A minimum you should be getting is 20%. 20% callback rate. If you apply, say you apply to 100 jobs, you need to get at least 20 recruiters reaching back out to you. If you don't get 20, anything less, you need to change your CV. That's a bad CV. I hope that makes sense. So 20-25% callback rate is a really good, it's a good sign that your CV is strong. Then from the callbacks that you've got, you should be aiming for at least 25% interview. So some recruiters, they waste time. Other recruiters are serious, in which case 1 out of 4, you should be able to secure an interview. Of the interviews that you've now secured, you should be able to aim for at least a 50% conversion. 50% is at least 1 in 2 interviews you should have been able to nail. Some interviews you're not going to get lucky at. Some you'll do amazingly well. It just depends on the company, the culture, what perfume you put on the day. It can be anything, right? There's so many things, so many variables that can go wrong. But they're the general statistics. So you can see, like, the process we have, right, it's a science. It's not something you can guess. There's no guesswork. It's a science. You just need to follow the process and you'll be in a job. That's how easy it is. So if you don't track your applications, you don't know where you're going wrong. You have to track, record, and measure where you're going wrong. Okay. Very briefly, how to deal with recruiters over the phone. This is like towards the last part of it. So phone technique. So how I was saying before, guys, don't act desperate. Don't ask stupid or silly questions. Don't beat around the bush. Don't give one-word answers. Don't lie or quote-unquote bullshit on the phone. Such my language. The do's, what you do need to do is create urgency. So, like, look, remember when I was saying, like, act like a busy restaurant? This is like beautiful. Act like a busy restaurant. So you can literally like say something like, look, I got, because some recruiters, they will lie to you. They'll say to you that they got a job when they don't really have a job. And you need to fish out the ones who are lying to the ones who are really good. So the way you do that is be like, okay, look, I got another job offer on the line right now. So can you let me know latest by tomorrow? And so now that you put it back on them, because if they actually have a job, right, and it's legit, it's real, then they will 100% reach back out to you. And because they can see that somebody else wants you, you've been that busy restaurant. Like, you never go to a quiet restaurant. That makes no sense. You just don't go to a quiet restaurant. You don't do that. Yeah, you always go to a busy restaurant. You need to be the busy restaurant. So create agency, position yourself as a specialist, know your CV inside out, know what the hell you're talking about, say the right keywords, write out all the case scenarios, aim to seek further information about the role to show your interest, ask them questions. Like, what's the work culture like? Don't always just ask straight away what's the pay. Ask it, but be a bit more subtle about it. Aim to secure an interview. The whole part of speaking to a recruiter is so you can secure an interview. That's all your goal is. So you tell them, give them the confidence that they need to pass you on to the employer. That's all your job is to a recruiter. Give them the confidence. Most recruiters don't know anything about the job. They don't even know what a project manager is. They don't even know what a business analyst is. They know nothing. Your job is just to give them the confidence that you're the man for the job. So speak to them attentively, aim to secure an interview, and make sure you get your story right. That's all your job is. Now, if you speak to a recruiter and you don't know which job you applied for, just tell them that you're busy and tell them to email you the job spec and that you'll ring them back within the next 2 hours. You're a little occupied right now. You're a busy restaurant. You're being a busy restaurant. So you can do it like that. Okay. Now you have a choice. So look, like, I've gone through the whole process with you guys to the point where, like, you have a qualification, what qualifications you need, how to tailor your CV, and how to start applying for jobs, even how to deal with recruiters over the phone. And you can go through that entire process yourself. Now, the only issue that most of you guys are going to have is like the lack of experience, like formal hands-on experience that you have. That's the biggest issue which most people have, is that they want to make a switch in their career, but they struggle because they don't have enough experience to do it, like formal, practical hands-on experience, how to do a Gantt chart, right? How to do a RAID log. Like, how do you do what's the documentation you do? How does a project lifecycle work? What do you do? When do you do it? How do you do it? That's the hardest part in this whole process. So what we've done, right, is, and this is how we can help as such, is that we specialize in giving people a qualification we give them 3 months worth of internship experience, and we give you the recruitment support. So we're going to get you the job as well, using not only our strategies, but our resources and tools and our coaches. So you can head on over to lets.shaz.com. You can apply for the PM program. But earlier on, I did say to you guys that why I said business analyst and project management, and why I'm saying what. So here's the breakdown I want to give you guys. Now, like, there's a big difference between business analyst and being a project manager. If you have some level of experience, I would 100% suggest go towards project management. And that makes sense for you because you already have management experience. So positioning yourself as a project manager is a very easy and smooth transition to make. You're a high-level person, you like managing resources. Management as a skill is very hard. It's so damn tough to like manage people. It's so hard. So like, if you can do that, if you already have that skill set, then learning the documentation side of it on what to do and how to do it, that's quite straightforward and that's quite easy, to be honest with you. So we can help you with that. Like, that's fine. So the project management program, it basically for you, if you already have management experience, how we cover that is our website, which is transformlearningacademy.com. So this website, so this is our company, Transform Learning Academy. So it's not just me being a one-man band or something like that. Like, we're fully accredited, fully approved company and stuff like that. So like, we do specific programs where it's like ultimate project management, and then we also have like the specific project management. This one specifically is just waterfall, Prince 2, experience, recruitment spot. Ultimate is with agile, so it covers Prince 2, it covers agile, it covers 3 months internship experience and recruitment spot. Where we're different compared to everyone else in the market is we give you experience. Like, we're going to place you on a 3-month internship project where you're working for a national client on a digital change project. It's all done remotely, it's all part-time. So it doesn't conflict with anything else that you're doing right now. So you can carry on working where you are. How this works is that it's all done remotely and part-time. So you're working on a project. There's 6 task calls which take place once every 2 weeks. And on these calls, it's a Zoom call like this, and there'll be the project lead, there'll be the project manager, and all the business analysts on the call. Everybody gets shown what to do and how to do it first, and then you allocate a task, and you have to complete that task by the deadlines that's set. And we do it over an entire period of 3 months. And what you're learning is the full project lifecycle. So we're teaching you how to start a project, how to plan and execute project, and how to close it down as a project manager. And at the end of it, you get a reference which you can then add onto your CV that you work for a national client as a project manager on a digital change project. So the chance of you getting a job now is 100 times higher because you've got formal experience to back you up from a national company. It's not just like any company, it's like companies, large companies. And then at the end of the 3 months, then we give the recruitment support. So now we're going to get you the job as well. So the CV prep, the LinkedIn prep, I've shown you some of the stuff, how process driven we are. But to the point where you get the job. Average student of ours takes 2 months to get a job. That's an average. But if you're on this call right now and you have 0 experience of managing, I would 100% suggest go towards business analysis. It's an absolute no-brainer for you to do. The difference of a business analyst and a project manager is that a project manager, you're managing a project. A business analyst, you're basically implementing the project. So one's manager's changed, the other's implementing. I'll give you a very brief example, and then we'll do a Q&A session straight after this. A business analyst is like being a highly paid waiter. A waiter's job is to get an order from the customer, hand it over to the chef, liaise with both the customer and the chef regarding the status of the order. So like, the chef is like a technical person. So he knows about all the food, he knows about the temperature, and like the customer is not a technical person. The customer is like a high-level overview person. He just wants to know, when is the food going to be ready? When is it going to be, is the food any good? And it's the waiter's job to manage the expectations of both the customer and the chef. The restaurant manager is the project manager. They're making sure that the customer is happy and that the waiter has enough resources to do the job, deliver the food on time and within budget to the customer. So that's the key difference between a project manager and a business analyst. So a business analyst is like, you're the middleman between like the senior management team and the IT departments. So technical and non-technical. So you're a middleman. Your job as a business analyst is not to know everything. Your job as a business analyst is to like get the information from the people that do know it. So it's a good learning playground where you get to understand how an entire project works first before you actually go towards project management. Project management is loads of stress and pressure. You have to be the first one in, you have to be the last one out. The higher up you go, there's less jobs. So you need one project manager, but you need 10 business analysts. You need more business analysts compared to PM. The pay is not that much different. Less stress as a BA. It's good. It's a good life. It's a good life. There's less pressure, less stress, but you get to learn a lot. But if you're a natural leader, 100% go towards project management. They're the qualifying criteria, and I think it's best for me to like cover that. But if you don't have much management experience, 100% BA makes more sense. So I would urge you guys, like if you guys want a program where you want the full end-to-end support and you want to learn from someone who's already done it with hundreds of the students over and over again, like 100% head on over to lets-shaz.com. You can complete, book a free career strategy session, fill out this form, or simply just go on the homepage and book a career strategy call with me, and I'll be more than happy to like consult you and like just tell you which path is best for you, what path to go down based on your current skill set and experiences. There's a strategy and a way for you to get to where you are to like a much better lucrative role, and I can show you like how that works, like step by step. But I'm pretty much done from my side. I know I've gone a bit too much. We've got like 15 minutes over, but we'll do a Q&A. I'm not pressed for time. My fast breaks at 8:30, so I've got 45 minutes right now. I need to kill.
Thanks, Shaz. I think it's arguably, I think this is the best career development webinar I have attended. I'm not meant to flatter you, but I think
I'll take that.
I think many people will agree with me. We have facilitated last year. We did about two or three last year. This year alone, we've done 2 already. I think it's like a third one which we're doing in that regard. So, but this seems to have trumped it all, because some things that you have shared, other ones, I myself, that I talk to people about CV drafting and things and career talks. I still consider myself as a career strategist. Do I still work? But things you shared, it's like, hang on a minute, I never knew this before. In terms of things what you do on LinkedIn, how to optimize your profile on LinkedIn, and a few other stuff. It's just mind blowing. So really, really thank you so much for taking your time.
I need to ask the students to make sure you're not saying this to everybody that hosts the call.
No, well, thank you. So I think everybody should try and leave a comment in the chat. Just leave something on the chat and just say thank you to Shaz. It's really, really good stuff. If you really, really have gained something today, I personally, despite I've been working for the past 20 years, I have still gained some stuff. Really, I'm not looking for a job or anything like that, but I've really gained stuff. What you need to do next when I get to that point, you're trying to get to my next level in terms of my career. So it has been really fantastic. There are a couple of questions. I think we will take it. I think we still have a lot of people still wanting to address some of the questions.
Sure. I'm going to go right on top of the...
Yeah, you could go on top. It's, a couple of questions there, but yeah, let's start with those questions that right on top. Then we could silver it down. I have one in mind as well, which I will also ask you.
Okay. I'll start from the top. So I can see Jubair first. So should new people focus on doing agile, and which courses potentially to focus on? So new people, first is just ascertaining that if you're coming from a management background, 100% go project management. Then it's more to do with the cost and time that you're able to put in. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to: cost and time. If you went through us, then our programs are like 3 to 5 months. as a whole, it's all fast track. It's not like with a lot of degrees, you have to do like 3-year degrees, management, like postgraduate degree and all that stuff. It's too long, and you have to pay like 10 grand. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. We're very tailored. So for example, if you already have qualifications and you only look for experience, or you've got the qualifications and you got some experience but you're struggling to get a job, we help in all sorts of different angles. So definitely reach out. I can guide you in terms of whether it's just agile you need. It all depends on your current circumstance, what you already have, if you already have qualifications right now, and what your experience and background is. So you can book a career strategy call. I'm more than happy to have a chat with you. With the PMP qualification, does one still need Prince 2? If you've got PMP, then no, you won't need Prince 2. PMP is higher than Prince 2. So no, you won't need Prince 2. It covers it. Okay. From John, how will someone get 1,000 recruiters correct email addresses? So yeah, so it's all SalesQL. SalesQL is a tool you can use to extract emails. So super powerful. Next one we have is, so question from iPhone. So do you put your LinkedIn link? So in the CV, put the LinkedIn link there for sure, no matter what, like 100% put it there. Because that way they can see that, okay, you know, you got some social proof, they can see recommendations, they can see that you're reputable, you're positioned as high-end person. It really helps. On the professional picture, never added previously, point taken. 100%. Professional picture is a really powerful way. One thing you need to understand as well, right? And look, I get this is a bit of a sensitive topic I'm talking about, but I think it's worth addressing anyway. I can see that the majority of the people on here are internationals. I'm an international. We're all internationals, it's called, right? Our names are quite, we got international names, which makes it more difficult to pronounce sometimes. My name is Shaz Shafiq, but I've shortened my name down to Shaz because it's more commercial. And like with names, like having a professional picture basically lightens your name. It makes it a bit more, so because sometimes like names can put different images in people's heads. When there's a long, complicated name, difficult to pronounce, it puts certain images in people's heads that, okay, is this person, where's he from, blah, blah, which part of the country is he, which part of the world is he from? It's all that, it raises questions, right? But when you have a picture and it's professional suited booted, it's like, oh, okay, it looks good. It lightens the name, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So professional picture definitely helps. Okay. Next question is template available to share? So yeah, just Herbert. So go on less-shaz.com. You can check the website, download it from there. Okay, Jubair, the difference with program management oversight or change management roles, is that an example you're saying? There's not, so management is management, right? Program managers are usually managing a series of project managers. They manage a whole program. In that program will be like dozens of projects within there, or within there will be dozens of project managers. Some project managers will maybe dealing with 2-3 projects at a time, but program manager manages the entire project. A change manager is different. So change manager is essentially a project manager. It's essentially a project manager. It just depends how big the company is and the budget and all that stuff. Next is, there are other websites, but you didn't mention them. Yeah, there are other websites you can apply on for sure, but the most common ones are the ones I mentioned. What about if I have IT experience but want to move into IT project management? If you have IT experience, then it depends what kind of IT experience that you already have. So if you already have some sort of management experience, then I would suggest 100% go towards project management. If you have IT experience and is not management related, I would 100% suggest go to business analysis. It's a much more easier, smoother transition to make. But if you're already a business analyst and you're looking to become a PM, then that's the easy transition to make. Then you, yeah, 100%. You would understand how every angle of a project, how it all works. It just depends on what kind of IT experience. There's light IT and there's like serious IT, like coding, dealing with developers, frameworks, networks, and all that stuff. There's different types of IT, right? So it really depends what kind of experience you have. Do you accept students who are not into PM, say HR, EF? Yeah, 100%. So the people that we have coming on our programs, we have the likes of so I mentioned accountants, we've had teachers, I've had a minibus driver, right? I've had other drivers. We like to take people on who have no professional experience. That's the main thing for us, office-based. So we've had a lot of people from banking, we've had healthcare, social care, people who have recently come to the country. So we get a lot of people who come from India, Nigeria, Pakistan, who recently come to the country, but they don't have the UK experience. That's a big market for us. It'll be people looking for tier 2 sponsorship. So we have a tier 2 strategy with a tier 2 list of recruiters and employers. So we've done it from every angle. So yeah, 100%, we accept a range of students. How much more the training? Almost done now. Regarding CVs, is it okay to include your side hustles projects on your CV, and how? Example, if you help run a youth reform club at a youth center over the weekend, or you have to supervise a book reading club, how do you make your CV reflect that experience following your template and not make it seem overwhelming? I would suggest, like, right at the end of the experience, just have a separate section of like make it out like it's like philanthropy or charitable work, or extracurricular activities. You want to put that down. You can state it there, how you're doing any charity work or a youth club center, and how you're doing X, Y, Z. That will massively help your positioning. Definitely add that onto your LinkedIn profile as well, but just add it as a snippet, as a separate part to your main experience. Because they can see like the type of character you are. It's more about a character build. That's what it is. But do it after your experience, but before your education. Education will always be at the end. Okay, great. Yeah, African Professional Network, perfect. As a business owner, how do you suggest I channel the knowledge towards increasing sales and productivity? Good question. My entire plan is like go eventually start with the biz hub here, PM, this I'm doing right now. Eventually I'm going to be going towards business. So helping businesses scale even further than what they're doing right now. So as a business owner, how do you suggest I channel the knowledge towards increasing sales and productivity? So it's all about mastering social media. Like social media is a big one. Social media and funnels. Like that question is so damn broad. Like I can do this presentation like two, 3 days worth on how to go towards increasing sales productivity. But I think is what I said on the call, right? But earlier on, be a lighthouse. You shine your light, you let people come to you, do more public events, more public speaking. And the more you do that, the better it is. Get your message out there and start posting a lot more. Be the lighthouse in every aspect of your career, every part of your business, and have better systems in place for staff. And that will massively help you increase your sales and productivity, better systems. But Chuma, in the medical field, but I have learned so much which is transferable, and also impressed with your presentation style, informative and motivational. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that, Chuma. For copes for the presentation, send to an email for copy of the presentation. Sure. I'd like to be part of like minds, please. Perfect. You mean unconscious bias? Perfect. Perfect. Also, I can see all the questions are done. Anybody else have any more questions?
Thanks, Shaz. Once again, I think it's very helpful. The questions I had in mind, I kind of asked them. I think you've addressed them. I think we wish at the time, but I just want to say thank you once again. Thank you for everyone for staying.
Awesome. No,
I think it has been very, very beneficial. And you can stop sharing your
awesome.
You can do that. Then if everyone could, if you're bold enough, share your video. Let's see your lovely faces before we go, and say a good thanks to Shaz for taking time. I think this is something people pay for. I can tell you the truth. People do pay for to hear what he just told us today. I think let's not stop here. Let our journey not stop here. I will encourage you to register. Log on to the website, his website, the company website, and there's nothing too much to pay, for his service, for their service. I think it's all worth it.
100%. I really appreciate the kind words.
Yeah. This webinar, just to flag that, is being put together, being facilitated by Like Minds. We are an African professional network in the diaspora. aimed at providing manpower development amongst ourselves through connectivity. So if you want to be part of a group, feel free to touch base. I share something about our contact details. Even in the flyer, you will see our website. Feel free to touch base with us, and we would like to connect with you for that. And yeah, that's all we are. We will run another webinar sometime in May. We're going to be looking at investment opportunities within the property area in the UK and also some places in Africa. So make that a date with us. I will share more on that hopefully before the end of sometime early next month. So to stay in touch with us in this forum. So thanks once again. So let's say hi.
Awesome.
Good thanks to Shaz. So thank you so much. So
awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Shaz.
No worries. Thanks
good
for
one.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you, and have a good evening.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Thanks, everyone. Thank Dr. Chuma. Thanks for your comment. So feel free to share your
Thank
camera.
you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Shaz.
I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Speak soon.